Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't pull me again. Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a result to cry. You can't pull me again. What we go to give the money, what we at you, it no at you. COVID money, me say we either you look correct you. You say you them on the base, I must come and start you. Say me like a catch you, but they got enough, they got you. Take this bit of money, got and say that is not you. On the head, the man above them, the man got up. To put it in the kitchen, some of my well like a part two. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you. It burn me 300% free. It burn me garbage pile up the day. It burn me give the teacher them raise. It burn me I see corruption please. It burn me mash down the people them house. It burn me every day appear arms out. It burn me appear money them a thief. It burn me and them a sell out with each. Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't pull me again. Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a result to crime. You can't pull me again. Probably say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. We already promise it, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, they rough and they down in our river. Them a bold money and they like them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan, not a hell go mash up. People start that thief when them sell. It burn me. On them to the market man. It burn me. On them a treat the cat man. It burn me. On them to the peanut man. It burn me. On them a treat the dirt man. It burn me. On them a treat the sun man. It burn me. On them a treat policeman. It burn me. How them a treat soldier man. It burn me. How them a treat everyone. Can't pull me again. You can't pull me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy skin and we can't buy time. You can't pull me again.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome. It is actually no surprise to see members of the Jamaica Labour Party working Obia in plain sight. You just have to remember who Mr. Siaga is, or you would remember from last year's local government election campaign, Babs Grange dancing around the cream soda, candle, and grotto. It's actually no surprise. It's what they've been taught to do, but it just might work against them like it did in the local government election. Good morning. It is D-Day for the Prime Minister's integrity. The night when the Prime Minister will face his opponent in the debate, the leadership debate, which will no doubt heavily centered tonight on integrity, openness, transparency, accountability, and of course the Prime Minister's statutory declaration will climb all the way up the mountain in tonight's debate. How will Andrew Holness fare it up in front of Mark Golding? We have our suspicion based on the Prime Minister's attitude, but we will all see how it goes tonight. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my community of party and all my family members, platform moderators, membership holders, viewers, subscribers, commenters, and trolls. Good morning and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. Debbie Jarvis TV, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Sharon Bernard, good morning. Marcia Thomas, good morning. Real Sweet, good morning. Don Mel, Andrea Joan Hamilton Wilson, Robert Honeywell, Sunshine. Good morning, Yvonne Riley, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Hugh Robotham, good morning. Who else is here? Michael Nepper, good morning. Miranda Roddock, Annie Jones, RJ, Barbara Simpson, Amanda Gill, Abinasar Cody, Julie Roberts, Sharon Bernard, Jamrock 8766, Lynette Jenkins, Vincent Dinham, Joan Pine, Opal Watson, Daphne Jackson, Richard Reed, Beverly Lawson, Joan Bailey. Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome. TikTok, good morning. Sandra, Fastcar, Insta Nanny, Richard Delamore, good morning. And welcome to Global TV. I have been ill all night, just feeling unwell all night, but I feel a little better this morning. Speak your mind, good morning. Feeling somewhat better this morning, but generally just feel unwell all night. Pamela Akola, good morning and welcome. The Prime Minister, check your message. 1 second, let me just check my message. The Prime Minister tonight will face Mark Golding at the debate. Well, the Portland West MP, Don Fox Morning, is really clamoring for public sympathy. He has tried his buses. They have not worked. He has tried his Bad Mind campaign. It has not worked. The OB will not work either. And the public buying of sympathy, Merle, Catherine Hype this morning, the public buying of sympathy will not work. There's too much that is overshadowing Darrell Vaz' integrity at the moment. Likewise, Andrew Holness, because in a lot of things, both integrity are tied together. Both integrity are tied together in a lot of things. So Darrell Vaz trying all this when everybody is zoomed in, particularly on the 110 buses that Darrell Vaz pay $110 for, Marcia Essay, and then charge us, the Jamaican taxpayer, $1.4 billion. No matter how much them try to waddle themselves out of it, asking for public sympathy, give me the last opportunity because I will step down after. Remember, you told us, we don't make it already, to the fact that we don't own a whole parish. So I don't see why one would want to hold on after you all made it already. So don't watch them lot and them buying of public sympathy, Sagittarius morning. Don't watch them and the buying of public sympathy. What the Jamaica Labour Party is doing at the moment is looking for sympathy from the voters. So if I think people walk up upon him, or him up the bus them for people, love the bus them and vote for him, it's literally is going nowhere. No matter what sympathy, the people for the last 18 years of West Portland, 18, 19 years, Vernon Adams, they have seen the destruction brought to their communities by Darrell Vaz. So, with Darrell Vaz reaching up to the brick wall and a try turnaround with gimmicks to fool disorientated labor rights, it will work for only his base, which is not really behind him much at the moment. Darrell Vaz, for the last how much weeks of the bus them going around, has been showed up to the people. The prices with Darrell Vaz charged with the bus them where him pay $1 for, it's not going down well with the public. The fact that they continue to tell the educated Jamaican populace that they are new buses and that they are worth the price, and that they're failing to acknowledge the security risk, this risk to safety when it comes to the buses, the extra money that we'll have to do with retrofitting and adapting, the 25 million we already spent in a tire for the old bus. Don't think that the electorate are going to say, oh, Obia Darrell Vaz, I make him buy a new bus and then send old bus. Him pay for new bus, but them send old bus con game. No amount of playing on public sympathy at the moment will work for Darrell Vaz or the Jamaica Labour Party. The Jamaica Labour Party is up to a brick wall at the moment. We saw just last Sunday where them lift up Mark Golden manifesto. Sunday gone. Where them lift up Mark Golden manifesto and own it up for themselves. I'm hoping tonight that the Prime Minister can clear up to the public about the rent to own we have. So don't watch them and them gimmicks. Labor rights, politics is lies and gimmicks. You just have to watch Dana Dixon at the debate the other night. She was just spewing and spewing and spewing without uttering the truth or any facts, just spewing. The Labour Party is at a standstill, Jamaica. They have nowhere going. They have realized it. Don't allow them to play in your sympathy. Even you, core base Labour rights, even you, Darrell Vaz supporters in West Portland, look around your constituency, look around your community, and tell us what Darrell Vaz has done. Have your roads been improved? Have your water been improved? Look at the amount of land you have lost since Darrell Vaz and his wife own Portland has gone to them. Look at the access, the beaches that have been taken away from you since Darrell and Ann control Portland for themselves. So these are the things that Portland people will be zooming in on. Remember Darrell and them also trying. They're also trying to intimidate voters in East and West Portland as well. Even that will not work. The Jamaica Labour Party is going to pull out everything that they can pull out in order to confuse you, the voters. But look at their promises they've made to you 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Have they delivered on them? And are you willing to give them more time to fail another 5 years as they have failed the last 9 years? The Prime Minister published 2 recent documents. And the only highlight about those documents, firstly, the one we were seeing there walking half with Chi and a mother Hanout and Darrell Delroy Chuck turn up in a road like madman a rubbing belly. The highlight coming out of that document, which the Prime Minister was hoping that that document would sway voters. The only highlight came out of the Prime Minister's pamphlet of achievement was JAIMAICA. That's all. That was the only thing, the only highlight came out of the Prime Minister's pamphlet of achievement. You know, anybody talk about it? You don't hear anybody talking about what the Prime Minister listed. Violet Watson, how you do? Keith Matthews. Have you heard anybody singing and dancing about anything from the Prime Minister's pamphlet of achievement, barring the badly spelled Jamaica? Nobody really heard or see anything of what the Prime Minister claimed he has achieved. You see, Sunday gone, the Prime Minister, after creeping and crawling, presented a manifesto from the People's National Party. Because the Prime Minister and the Jamaica Labour Party, who are bankrupt of ideas, Ladybug, Christine Gilbert, who are bankrupt of ideas, were unable to even come up with a new set of ideas, given that they have failed miserably onto a manifesto. They couldn't manage to conjure up a new set of ideas to come to the public. Coming to the public with what Mark Golden and his team put together, and then to turn around, tell the public, especially on oh gosh, it slipped my mind. But the Prime Minister touting of his rent to own. These are blatant lies that the public know, because young people, professional Jamaicans who are contributing to the NHT and want to get up on the property ladder, under what the Prime Minister is offering now, they have no hope, because under the Prime Minister system, they might ask 2 people to put together and buy a 1-bedroom apartment. 2 people to buy a 1-bedroom apartment. So for the Prime Minister to come to the public and tell us he's already having rent to own. Who in Jamaica has benefited or is benefiting or in line to benefit from the Prime Minister's rent to own. Because a lot of Jamaicans who want a foot on the property ladder, the price of these housing built under the Labour government is a major concern. And to know here, so we have it, but we never see nobody a benefit from it. These things won't wash with the public. It's a new type of election. Jamaica has never seen this level of information being flowing before in a general election. The people generally go to a general election based on the narrative of mainstream media, most of them paid by the government or aligned with the government. It's not like this time. A lot of different broadcasters have surfaced in the social media spheres, which is informing and educating the populace and continuously calling out and reminding the people of the current administration, corruption. That is something one can't get away from. Even if corruption was just labamoutism, the whole cloud of the Prime Minister's integrity, the employment of Dennis Chung, the boss them three big something there. It's not going down well with the people. Look at how you hear Jamaica Labour Party are going like the public is not bothered about it, or the public is not bothered about corruption. No, go so. It's just not true. These are big issues. The only people rejoicing over those bosses are JLP core supporters. Elaine Turner, morning. The only person, Merle, how you do, that are having a song and dance over those buses are JLP core supporters. Ask yourself, do they even believe themselves, or are they just going with the party's message? Does he really believe what he's saying? Or they're saying, are they going? Can me say, then send Summer Junction. And me hear the people them a carry on, how them elated and this and that. The only thing that's going to save our children, Kevin, how you do? Love and Burnett, how you? The only thing that's going to save our children is that the Jamaica Labour Party will not form government on the 4th of September. So that will bring a level of protection to our children them with Darrell Vaz carrying these things to kill off. It's plain to see the movement around the country with the buses. They are dangerous. Them wheel can fly off anytime and anywhere. We've seen it. So the people are not fooled by it, particularly Unicre, how you do, will it done? Particularly the doubling down of Pernell Charles the other night. But most of them are going to do everything to steal the election opal. That is the game Andrew Holness are playing, because at the moment, Andrew Holness is even buying the election in a good position. Because Andrew Holness has been going, remember, Andrew Holness went around the country in 2015. Andrew Holness went around the country in 2020. Andrew Holness going around the country now is seeing a total different mood from what he saw in his two previous general election campaign, a total different mood. His base has withdrawn their support from him. The base is not diehard behind Andrew Holness because he and the entire Jamaica Labour Party caucus, them forget even who supported them. You heard councillors of the Jamaica Labour Party and supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party come out saying those very things. The Prime Minister, there's no way the Prime Minister should be on a nightly basis breaking the noise abatement rules, going around the country campaigning after one and all them something there. That's a signal that the nation has turned their back on you. Because you going around to claim, say, you try strengthen up and shore up those seats, you're only doing worse. Tonight, Jamaica people will be the massacre. It will be another massacre as we have seen in the two previous rounds. Given it's a leadership debate, so much will be centered on the Prime Minister, on Mr. Golden leadership as well, given he was in Portia Simpson's cabinet. Finstack is what Holness will repeat 1,000 times tonight. The Prime Minister will go on about Finstack on and on tonight, believe you me. Every little time he can get for showing Finstack, that's the only thing the Prime Minister is going to go after. Don't know if Mark Golden is prepared to use the latest information in relation to Finstack against the Prime Minister, but even if Mark Golden chooses not to use that to illustrate that the Prime Minister has also benefited from the same Finstack where them get up and talk about every day. Mark Golden have a plethora of scandals that he could bring forth. But no doubt the Prime Minister's integrity, uncertified statutory declaration, the employment of Dennis Chung, Opal's Kitchen Morning, he's going to go about Chakegoro as well. And he's going to have a whole going on about 18 years. Mark Golden have a lot to go after the Prime Minister tonight when it comes to the Prime Minister failed promises of 2015 and 2020. So the Prime Minister will be, no doubt, from the start tonight, will be on the back foot. I'm hoping that the questions coming in from social media are not vetted for the Prime Minister, because I'm sure the questions coming from social media will no doubt tonight center around the Prime Minister's integrity and statutory declaration. I hope Mark Golden also goes after the affidavit, because lots of information come out in the affidavit as well. So I'm hoping that's one of Mark Golden's area of targeting Andrew Holness tonight. His tax evasion is another area to go after the Prime Minister. There is so much When remember Mark Golden asks him the IC question about the IC and he walks out of but here yeah, Jamrock, he can't walk off of the debating stage tonight, you know. He will have to just stay upon the rope and make Mark Golden throw punches all night. The Prime Minister cannot he's going to get angry, mind you. The Prime Minister is going to get angry because that he cannot help. Brenda Elson, how you do? He's going to get very worked up tonight because we know that he cannot help. But what he cannot do, he cannot walk away from the debate. He have to stand on the rope and take every punch Mark Golden throw at him. Finsack, Traffic Guru, and 18 years. That's nothing to do with Mark Golden, as opposed to the Prime Minister's dismal credibility. So the Prime Minister tonight in the debate will be chasing after wild geese. The Prime Minister will be chasing after wild geese. The Prime Minister will also attempt to hit below the belt because generally it's how labor rights behave. Raymond G, what go on, bro? He will aim to go below the belt tonight. It's just how labor rights behave. But nothing will save the Prime Minister from tonight's onslaught. You could call him sick like Faval. Well, you might never know. In the spirit of how the debate is going on, like how Kamina and Purnell never turn up, and Tufton and Faval never turn up, like we're 1-1 tonight, it is possible that the Prime Minister may not turn up as well. The Prime Minister could follow the JLP trend tonight and don't turn up. Another area where Mark Golden is going to hit him tonight as well is cost of living. He's going to be hit hard on cost of living tonight. What will his big argument he's going to rant about? The unemployment figures, the low crime rate, and there are all quotes around that. Unemployment, crime, and all of those things. Those are the things that he's going to speak about. But Prime Minister, we're not speaking about those things tonight because those were issues for the economic and social debate. We're talking about leadership tonight, Prime Minister. Leadership. We're going into integrity, accountability, transparency, Prime Minister. But I'm sure you won't be able to keep it to that. You're going to be jumping all over the place, clutching after Straw, PJ, Portia, Michael Manley, because there's not much, or there isn't anything, literally, for you to criticize Mark Golden on. Because even the one dead Finsack argument won a latch on pan. That's what Peter Bunting used and irritate Dr. Tufton badly the other night. So you wouldn't fool Prime Minister if you come tonight, come rely upon Finsack as a weapon. It did not work the other night. It did not work the other night. And for you who have so much corruption under your belt, your statutory declaration cannot be certified. You're going to take praise for the Integrity Commission and you and them club up in front of the court. Marjorie, how are you? You and them, Colleen, morning. You and them are in front of the court, colored up at the moment. So your spews tonight, Prime Minister, they're going to confuse even you yourself, because the same thing you both span, such as when it comes to integrity, You may waffle on about how you set up the Integrity Commission. Are you going to tell us about the battle between yourself and the Integrity Commission in front of the courts? Because that's bound to come up tonight as a major issue. We're on the issue of integrity, Prime Minister. We're on the issue of integrity. Something you cannot jump out of. Globalist, just let me play a song. I need to listen to a voice note. Sorry. Bear with me, please.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation. Because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear now hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside a rub and cheat, and not first and for make up what I seen to. Make him a throw and stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan, make him a...
Thank you very much and welcome back. Now, the failed implementation of the Prime Minister's promise on impeachment will be another big issue for the Prime Minister tonight, because even in the constitutional review, he went back on what he promised in his 2015-2016 manifesto. So there isn't anything that the Prime Minister have in his corner tonight, because as I said, what he's going to go on about, he can't go on about Mark Golding. He's going to target former PNP leaders, which we're not debating other PNP leaders, Andrew Holness. We are debating the current PNP leadership, what his plans and promises are for the country, as well as we're debating Andrew Holness's leadership, whether he has failed or he has delivered. And there's many things that the Prime Minister's promised. There's many things that the Prime Minister promised that he still has not delivered on. That's why the PNP is going to lose. They have presented everything for development partners. Paraprime, morning and welcome. So Andrew Holness don't have anything in his favor tonight. Literally nothing at all. When it comes to corruption, there's a plethora of things that Mark Golding can draw on. I'm expecting also, you might never know, somebody from the public might just ask a question on the health care or a question on crime that the Prime Minister may have to waffle his way through. 3.5, no doubt, will come up. Crash morning, how you doing? 3.5 will no doubt come up a lot tonight. The Prime Minister is going to go similar on like Dana and Favel. But what Andrew Holness has failed to remember that he could have delivered 3.5. He could have delivered 3.5, which would put him in a good position. But his intention were never to bring prosperity to the people of Jamaica as promised. Because you're not feeling it in your pockets. You're not seeing it in your community. Because remember, we've been from 2023 at the November conference. I think that's where we were first promised, Harvey, Lindsay Morning. That was where we were first promised the $40 billion for the Spark project. Between Spark and Reach, it has made its way up to 45, I think, $0.5 billion. From 23 up until December last year, them don't start the upgrade with roads or anything. The Prime Minister only start December, because we're moving into an election year and you have to suffer the people, then use those things to tickle them to say that we are doing X, Y, and Z, give us time to do more. What you are doing now, the road them wanna hurry come up and a scrape off and a spray gas oil pan without proper asphalt. Without proper asphalt, wanna just a roll mal and spray gas oil. In a bid to fool the people of the $45 billion were allocated for the roads. Most of what you hear them talk about is road patching. Is road patching they're talking about. Some little place you may see them fix about half a mile or 3/4 mile. And on a proper project as how the Prime Minister make it out to the people of Jamaica. And just like how the $1.4 billion, what we don't know how much people it share, because when you take out the $110, you know. When you take out the $110 with the 10 bus, with the 110 bus costs, and when you take out the money, what we ship it and the duty money, our whole heap of money share up between many people in Jamaica. Out of that dollar is a lot of money share up for many people. May I go play this video again, because Jamaicans need to listen going into the election and know that if you choose Andrew Holness again, you're choosing the end of democracy in Jamaica. You're choosing a Jamaica that you will not recognize. You hear that woman say, you really don't want to have Andrew Holness there in 2030? 2030 is when them are going to step up a push on their new world agenda, their antichristism and the one world control. And those are the time they're going to push harder. We should want a leader that is listening to us. We should want a leader that is not in the back pocket of Canada, Europe, and America, as Andrew Holness is. So, given how harsh Andrew Holness imposed the COVID rule, I have to remember that, you know. I have to remember what Andrew do to win a COVID. 2030, the rules are going to be worse. because the rules will be very draconian. And them going to do everything to make sure so we fall in line. So if you want to have a dictator like Andrew Holness, who showed you already his potential of becoming a dictator, we have so many examples. So much example that you don't want Andrew Holness to be leading the Jewish charge against the people of Jamaica when 2030 come and they want to impose their bullshit on us, their militarization and all. Why don't you think Andrew Holness has militarized Jamaica, so? Why you think Andrew Holness want to remove the jurisdiction of the Maroons? Because Andrew want a dictatorship corner to corner across the whole Jamaica. Jawad said, I didn't ask you to be here, you know. I didn't really ask you to be here. If you think it's a scare tactics, that means you weren't aware, or you're not aware of how Jamaicans were treated under Andrew Holness during COVID.
You know, I'm so grateful
That's
to those of
how
you.
we were treated under COVID. It will be a toy compared to what is coming in 2030. Maybe you don't understand the 2030 agenda. Maybe you need to go and read up more on the 2030 agenda. Because even though they couldn't get the real document passed in the UN, the Pandemic Readiness and Preparedness document, they passed a version of it that will work just as much as how they wanted. We as citizens must obey the law of the land. That's a done slavery right. That's a done slavery right. Does that apply to Andrew Holness, Jamaica? Does obeying the law of the land apply to Prime Minister Andrew Holness? Remember the other day, if it applies to Andrew Holness, then Andrew Holness should be arrested by the Jamaica Constabulary Force for breaching the rules. Remember the other day when the Prime Minister go up halfway through, breaking the rules by not applying for a permit and said that it doesn't apply to him? So why should we follow the law of the land? Or are you saying if Andrew Holness becomes a dictator, then we must follow him? Andrew Holness breaching the IC regulations, does the law not apply to Andrew? Sometimes I don't understand what someone on labor rights are talking about, you know. If your government, not like Andrew Holness, who breaches our constitutional and fundamental rights many times, which he has been struck back by the courts, are you saying we must follow those rules? Those are not rules of the land. So this is one of the labor rights not getting it. Andrew Holness impose what he wants to be his rule, and you come talk about we must obey the law of the land. This is why people like you will walk blindly into dictatorship, because you don't understand your rights that's been given to you under your constitution. And if Andrew said that right is not favorable to me, then you're willing to give up that right for Andrew Holness. So don't come and talk about law of the land when the very Prime Minister we are support or defend is not upholding the law of the land. When I him say when I impose them, when you must careful when you not come and talk about the Prime Minister When we explain dictatorship, ask AI. People stop explaining things to people these days. If you want to know what dictatorship means, go and ask AI. And then look at Andrew Holness, 9 years. It's about time when I get bright and stop asking people to explain things to you. When you don't have to spell things anymore, just touch the mic on Google and ask the question and AI will answer you. When you don't have to want with a teacher all the while, when you show a proof so you're not learning. Anybody with understanding, and we talk about the rules, we see how much Andrew Holness breached with rights many times. Or what? You don't believe in what the judges in the Constitutional Court or Supreme Court says? If you're a dunce and you want to learn, there's a thing called adult education in whatever country you're living. There's also a thing called stop following gimmicks and pick up a book and read, or research online and read. That's how you learn. AI is a great teacher these days. You don't have to ask people to teach you. You can learn for yourself. But this is what the labor right do. When you go around people platform, want people to explain to you, like we're in front of classroom. And when we explain to you, so the Prime Minister too thief, when the Prime Minister too corrupt, when the Prime Minister too dictatorial, when the Prime Minister don't have no integrity, when you don't want to hear them something they cannot teaching. When you don't want to hear them something because they're not teaching, or you only want what you want to hear. Andrew Holness has not delivered. Andrew Holness has not delivered. You can go back and look at his manifesto promises for 2016 and for 2020. A lot of what was in his 2016 manifesto resurfaced in his 2020 manifesto. And to date, the Prime Minister has not delivered. Why has the Prime Minister gone back on things like impeachment, strengthening the integrity body that investigate corruption? Why has he gone back on all that? Why is the Prime Minister in charge of so much ministry? Where in our country have you ever heard a Prime Minister is the Minister of, usually they're the Minister of Defense. That's where it generally stops. Albeit Siaga did take finance ministry too. Kind of for thief. Andrew Holness have Ministry of Water, Ministry of Roads, Ministry of Housing, Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, which Julian Robinson called rightly the Office of Plenty Ministries. So the Prime Minister has failed. He just has not delivered. The Prime Minister has shown himself over and over to be a rule breaker. Last year, local government election, the Prime Minister campaigned in violation of the noise abatement rules. That the same Prime Minister closed down a lot of Jamaican nightlife business for, or his own purposes. And this same Prime Minister, again, we see him every night. You just have to look on his TikTok page. Every night, the Prime Minister breaks the noise abatement rule going around the country. But let us remind Jamaicans, say, them to wake up, because everybody yard and abroad has seen and is seeing Andrew for who he is. Andrew has not done anything to assist Jamaicans. Andrew has not done anything for even his base. So therefore, a better choice is presented to us, and we must go with the People's National Party. Everybody is asking for that.
You know, I'm so grateful to those of you that wanted to put comments on my TikTok video about your elections and about Andrew Holness and his demon wife and his demon parliament. 37 years I've been going to Jamaica. My daughter went to school there. I've lived there on and off for 17. I know a lot about that country. I love Jamaica. Jamaica is a home to me. I feel at home there. I have worked with so many people over there. I've worked over there and had to pay my taxes. I come from the hospitality background and I watch the colonisers on the island, who I mentioned in the other video, plus enough families over there who are white, get away with not paying barely any tax. Right? And I get taxed to high heaven, and when I go to try and do a tax return, I can barely get any money back because the government are taking it all. It's ridiculous. Your minimum wage over in Jamaica for what they charge, for example, if you want to build a house, materials, if you want to send your kids to school, uniform, books, school fees, lunch money, taxi money, bus fare money, you can't do it on the minimum wage you've got yet. Your tourism makes billions of US dollars, right? You don't even control your airports, Mexico do. This is what I'm saying. Your government has sold off every bit, they've not kept it. You know, all your sugar, right? Because I can't stand the royal family, so let's get that straight. I'm Welsh, I'm not English. My parents brought me to England when I was 6. I didn't speak English till I was 6. So to English people, I'm a foreigner. But what they did in colonisation days was despicable. Not just to Africa, but to Jamaica. And it's still going on to this day. You think you're independent, you're not. You have a Governor General that sits on there. I fight for the freedoms of people who are too scared to fight for themselves. So all of you with your big mouths coming on here, wanting to challenge me, why don't you challenge your government? You think I'm afraid of them? I've challenged bigger governments than them in Africa when I've worked over there. So I ain't afraid of them. Because they're working with some elites out there that you don't even know about. Because the ones of you that are still voting for Andrew Holness, it's like you've been obiered to hell, indoctrinated, blackmailed. He does nothing for you. You can look at my colour all you want. I don't business. My kids are black. So you see how when you don't know people and you love chat, why don't you start to recognise that you're still enslaved there? Why is it when I lived in Hong Kong people who were a British colony could get a passport, but you as Jamaicans don't get that even as part of your reparations? That's the least it could do, is give you a British passport so you can move freely, so you don't have to sit in the US or UK government embassies to be declined on absolute bullshit. I know so many people that go for a visa and get declined. You have to book your flight, you have to lose it all. Yeah, does your government do anything to make it easier for you to travel and not be a slave just to the island? No. Your government do nothing for you in COVID. Oh my word. They starved us for a year and then they offered you money to take a fatal injection. And they knew. And they took a bogus one to promote something because they got a big backhander. They locked you down, they ruined your businesses, and they followed the world's agenda, which is really coming from Jews.
That's why you really don't want Andrew Holness 2030. We have had the examples of how ruthless, this Prime Minister. Remember, this Prime Minister threatened us. He coerced us. He unleashed his police officers, his gangsters against us. You don't want, when the Jewish tell Andrew that's the rule you must impose, you don't want Andrew to be imposing those rules. You want somebody in an image of a Michael Manley to help us go through the world on our feet rather than our knees. Uno see just where Donald Trump and Marco Rubio have a hissy fit. And with derelict health care, we have a brain drain because they not pay them. And the Cubans, them they were help with. Marco Rubio tell Andrew Holness and Christopher Tufton so they have to send them home, and send them home they did. And we die in the thousands per year in the health care, where the budget raised from 60 billion to 140 billion. And we don't have bed filled up, and we don't have X-ray, we don't have dialysis, we don't have CT, we don't have MRI, we don't have oxygen, we don't have medication. Nurses and doctors can't get paid. Them don't have the supplies to do them job adequately. They are burned out and tired. Jamaicans, public sector workers who keep this country together are burned out and tired because them are work. You meant to, when you hear, so when you go to university, go turn teacher, doctor and nurse, and them something there, or something where advance upon the social ladder above those who does not have that opportunity. If they no runway. That's why we're in a crisis, or we're in our health care. Because all our nurse them gone. We doctor them gone. And the Cubans will come to help with. Marco Rubio and Donald Trump said them figure, and Christopher and Andrew send them away. So what Christopher and Andrew is concerned about is appeasing Donald Trump and Marco Rubio, not concerned about your health and the healthcare delivery in our country. That's why when Dr. Roger Hunter came out and told us they're killing 15,000 of us per year, to date, the government or the media has not acknowledged the story. Everybody gone deaf, we.
Jews, but if you're all dunce and don't know that by now, I can't teach you. You don't want him in power in 2030, let me tell you.
Georgia,
good morning. Because if you keep him there, I mean, hold on a second, right? We want to talk about leadership, and you want to slag me off. Let me show you something. Ibrahim Traore, he's got it right. Andrew Holness ain't got the balls to do what Ibrahim Traore's done and tell the white man to get lost. Tell all of the Mahfouds, the Corys, the Azans, the Stewarts, you know, Chris Blackwell, the ones who have robbed Jamaicans of everything. I'm sorry, but I cannot.
Chris Blackwell, who you hear she spoke about. All I know Jamaica must know who Chris Blackwell is. Chris Blackwell is one of the demons among us as well. And they're friends of Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness wanting a compound. Chris Blackwell was behind that as well. That enough you know. It's a bunch of elitists in our country determined to draw everything from under our feet. Why you think Adam and Matthew so rich in our country when them woman and them papa never work a day in their life?
Stand back and say nothing. All the corruption within the police stems from the fact that if they don't pay them well, they can hand backhanders and make them into assassins and corrupt police on the ground. So I feel sorry for the police. You need to be paid a lot more money and you need to stand with the people. But your government will never pay you more money because they like the fact that you're corrupt, because then they can call on you to do some of their dirty work.
That's why, remember the same man them, the same gangster them with Juliet did have a do our dirty work. A Juliet same one now have the Jamaica Constabulary Force shooting them down because they are not with Juliet Holness for this upcoming general election. People of East Rural know what I'm talking about. Not because I not hear it in the news, Stacey and Lee, good morning. Not because I say, I not hear it in the news. Juliet have our death squad in the name of the Jamaica Defense Force, killing off the very man them with Juliet armed with gun in our constituency if we do our dirty work. Just like when Juliet Holness did kill Dog Pa, the same way Juliet Holness busy with him. Nothing when you see him pull off on Peter King, Tantan morning. Thanks for the follow. When you see Juliet Holness pull off on Peter King where they on the thing a normal same thing. Juliet Holness have them same police there a walk and shoot down young men will fall out of political grace with her. That is what is happening in East Rural at the moment. Andrew Holness have given his wife authority to use the Jamaica Constabulary Force as her own personal security and her own personal gang. Them something they don't know labor rights. Who picking get shoot down to, you know? You can't say. In the Prime Minister's shoot to kill policy. Who no picking no get shoot down to labor rights.
If you all have questions for me, ask me. Right? Ask me. But don't make assumptions about me. Right? Don't make assumptions about me. That's so funny and ignorant. That's how Andrew Holness has got the bulk of you still wanting to vote for JLP.
She's
ignorant, indoctrinated, opiate, and dunce. Because if you think that in a Western world, there are even other islands out there that pay better than your island and don't make the money you make in tourism. Look at football. Brilliant footballers out there can't get a break because of the corrupt.
Labor rights. We're not abusing, I mean, I don't know why decide to suffer in silent labor rights. Our TikTok handle is at Educating Jamaicans. So you should find her on TikTok. She does quite a few videos on TikTok. So you'll find her on TikTok at Educating Jamaicans. You don't want Andrew Holness to be leading the world agenda in 2030 against you Jamaicans. Want to see how dangerous Andrew Holness behaved during COVID against us. So you don't want Andrew Holness to be leading that against you.
Corruption in football. Look at the roads. Do you know the Chinese? I think we owe them, I think it's something like close probably to 30 billion US dollars. Do you know what that means? If we can't pay them back, they'll end up owning those strips of land because that's how colonizers came in the first place and continue to do so to this day. That's how they own strips in different countries. You've got to understand what's happening to you. You should have free education, free and better hospitals, better equipped with the money that's coming in there, but it never reaches you, the people. That's my problem. It never reaches the Jamaican people. Where's your welfare state? Do you know how many elderly people I know that have to hustle out there and that have mad medication bills and have ended up dying over the years?
Part is meant to be a part of our welfare state. And look at when Mark Golden have the Let's Talk sit down. All the people who ought to be benefiting from part, they're of the view that part is very inactive. Very inactive. Remember, this government take all heap of money to pin you down during COVID. Christopher and Andrew Holness and many of them enriched themselves during that time. Fly Green Party and bus champagne Panwe that time. Remember Jamaica. These are the people that is asking you to give them another 5 years. Remember that.
Of me knowing them because they can't afford the medication. Because this government's so damn greedy, it does nothing for you. In Western worlds, people kick off. You all sit back quiet. So make Andrew come for me. Because I'm not frightened of Andrew.
A prime minister with Andrew Holness's integrity would never lose a day in Britain. Liz Truss, the Prime Minister lettuce, only lost 49 days because she tweaked and twined with the economy that was going to make our life worse off. And she had to go. Now, Andrew Holness has enriched himself out of your public purse. Andrew Holness and so much of his MPs are under the illicit probe. getting money through drug dealing, money laundering, fraud, stealing, corruption, some form. That's what illicit enrichment means. You get your money through either fraud, corruption, drug dealing, money laundering, some one of those high-level crime. And that's the person you would want to lead Jamaica for another 5 years. That will lead you up into one world dictatorship. And every country I go accept it, you know. It's based on if you have good leader to stand them ground. Just like how we see Marco Rubio and Donald Trump have a hissy fit, and Andrew and Christoph Tan buckle under the hissy fit of Marco Rubio and Donald Trump. Do you want these people to be carrying out the one world agenda rules on you in 2030 and beyond, Jamaicans? That's enough you ask yourself when you go to the poll. Do I want to taste dictatorship again that we have tasted during COVID? But someone needs some harsh waking up. Cute boss are going to do it harsher, because the way how them have we mind politically, when you talk to especially labor rights in an educated way, they really don't get it. You have to carry on like a Darrell Vaz and Andrew Holness for them really get it. So we're going to ask Cute Boss to wake up the labor rights. The morning, Max Romeo. We're going to and don't come over here with a stupid question this morning, Max Romeo. We're going to ask Cute Boss to wake up the docile labor rights. Because Jamaicans, as the woman said, it look like Andrew Holness, Obian, and you see Darrell Vaz are walking and feed it up with them with rum. Time when people are walking and prink rum, it means them are feed up. There's too fluid that you feed up upon his rum are still pissed. So when Darrell Vaz are and pass on and see if them rank, because there's two things that you use, two fluid that you use to feed duppy is stale piss or you use rum.
Don't blood clot the bias. Who get it? When you go on one go no, I want them come though. When you go on one go yeah. Who get the money? Who get it? I me get it. It's me get it. When you not fight for Jamaica, you not fight for no favorite, you no loyal to a fault. When you not fighting for Jamaica, you no fighting for no favorite. I me don't talk to no. You beat me now. Cause right now, me that like go take a look rest. Cause who dead already must glad them dead. People tired now. I the fuck, me no know about who but me tired. Me and the government of Jamaica and the people of Jamaica. Me and them fell out. I wanna go yeah. Me and the whole of them fell out. Cause me ignorant how the people in the country are suffer. And nothing I do to it and then them come and go on and I pretty up like them doing something for this country. I can't bother with the blood clot people that need.
The government coming now to pay back Usain Bolt and investors little tip of money. The government are run round a break ground. The government are run round a cut ribbon. The government are run round a piss gas tile. Power road say I fix them. Where was this government for the last 9 years? Where was this government for the last 9 years? When him could do things bit by bit. This government sit down and wait now at the 9th hour. Then Andrew Holness a run round and I show Jamaicans say him a do something. Me hear the Prime Minister tell people down at St. James say him bring them prosperity through peace. The Prime Minister will promise us prosperity, tell with the economic management can yam. But that same Prime Minister, it was the one who tell us that love cannot yam. Love can yam, but good economic management can yam. Don't know how we work it out. Because Prime Minister, this is why you have not shared the good economy with us, because you have no love for people. You have no love for people. That's why the good economy don't reach to the people of Jamaica yet. You and your families and your cronies and your MPs, of course, want to achieve prosperity. Not just want to go no 300%, we talk about want to thief. The fraudulent procurement of the drill and the 110 buses for $110. We want back with money, Darrell Vaz. Because we just realized that $110 you pay for the 110 bus. So take out your shipment fee and your clearing fee and make we get back with money, because that the $1.5 billion in Jamaica. You know the amount of people get kicked back and yama food out of that?
Discernment. That's why I got me start rep for me now rep for nobody but my God, cause him feed blood at me. Me not rep for nobody but my God, cause him provide for me. Me not rep for nobody but my God, because him protect me. One yeah. I'm rep for politician and all I want hungry and blood clot. I wanna go and make me I wanna drop out. Me na unite we don't know. Me na unite we don't know. Jamaica need for wake up. The whole I know have picnic. That's why eat me. See a mouth to say yes and no. You know much I want to see when on a rep for a party. I want to see him party. When on a party in a power on a lose on a Sunday. Then on a come out come a ball. Me pity that innocent. Why murder? In a PMP government, PMP picnic dead. In a labor right government, labor right picnic dead. Oh, uno, mothers of this country and stand up. Fathers of this country and stand up. I wanna picnic them, wanna lose, wanna picnic them to the system. You know how much I wanna picnic, wanna lose to the system. You know how much I wanna lose picnic to the system. When you're having kids in Jamaica, you must crave for a better Jamaica. Stop be loyal to a fault. Stop be loyal to a fault and rep for a country rather than repping for individuals. Rep for a country, because anyhow, blood clot Lati said she dropped the tongue front of her MP. You see, anyhow, you send this government a message any day. We send the government a message. The whole of Jamaica just drop asleep on election day and watch them blood clot rewrite the blood clot story. Any day, uno send the government a message. Any day, uno realize say the power is in a phone hand. Even the poor RT boss just lick out pan. A phone vote counts the most. The poor. What RT boss said the government now work with the poor, them a work with the rich. The poor people in this country, the most important vote in this country are the hungry poor chatan that are suffering.
A whole heap we feel depressed in Jamaicans. Whole heap we feel depressed to see how we're not willing to unite, wake up and stand up against tyranny. Me don't know what we really are wait for. If we wait till martial law is declared. Remember, the South Korean president declared martial law, and the people and the opposition kicks into gear and roll it back within 24 hours. Any government can declare martial law on you and use the army and the police to subdue you. Will you willing to stand to fight to protect your democracy? Or you just have to buckle under whatever Andrew Holness tell you? Because Andrew Holness have gonna buckle under COVID, you know. If Andrew Holness said, turn on the yard and a baby want come up compound of veranda. That's how obedient you all became in COVID. But let me just slip quickly on the international scene. Americans, those of you who elect Donald Trump, you must, as a country, rise against Donald Trump. The continent of America, voters all across, you must rise up against Donald Trump. You may not be understand, but because mainstream media are not saying certain things, we are moving ever more so closer to a nuclear war in this world. The talk you see happened in Alaska the other day, what came out of it was really a mustering for nuclear war. What Donald Trump has done, even though mainstream media are not saying it, Donald Trump, since 2008, Americans' nuclear weapons have stopped. They've stopped storing them on British soil. Donald Trump sent a whole fleet of nuclear weapons the other day. Some is at Lake and Heath military base in Britain. There's some in Poland and other places in Europe. This is tormenting Russia. Russia have a preemptive strike nuclear policy, which is called the dead hand. If them feel America is about to attack them nuclear-wise, your America, your continent, America, will become zombie apocalypse. England will be wiped out. Europe will be battered and burned. Donald Trump is pushing it. You see him push war with Nicolas Maduro as well. Americans, you have a duty to rise up against Donald Trump, or the continent of North America will be no more. If you provoke Russia, Russia have all and dead hand them pointing at you. The United States will burn. Stop making the leaders fool and pushing up in danger. America does not have the fighting force to fight Russia. And America cannot use nuclear weapon and intimidate Russia. Russia has more nuclear weapon than America. Your defense mechanism cannot work against hypersonic and supersonic bombs carrying nuclear warhead. We see what happened in Iran, in Israel the other day, where Israel, the shield, no work against hypersonic and supersonic. So if you don't understand the risk that Donald Trump is posing to you by tormenting a nuclear armed country, which is more powerfully nuclear armed than America. A lot of phone nuclear bomb them on have to go get fit them pan plane and drop them over people's country. Russia don't need to do that. Russia have been hypersonic missile them. So if you all don't understand where Donald Trump is taking this thing to, America is the first place Russia will wipe out because of the nuclear arsenal fleet within within NATO. America has the most. And if you were America come drop a Europe with you, by the time them ready to fire them, Putin will destroy Europe. So no go on and don't pay attention to Donald Trump. Americans have a war psyche. Have a war psyche where all our leaders fool and think that America is powerful and have a fighting spirit where get enough proof now Afghanistan alone should have shown us that don't what with the pen paper. The faster on the rise up against Donald Trump is the safer for the United States. And that me want to say to Americans. Because don't understand Remember I said there's no mainstream media to talk anything anymore, you know. There's no mainstream media to talk anything anymore. And one thing you cannot do, you can't play with Russia because Russia not take play with. That's why when them decide say Ukraine, when Biden decides say Ukraine for join NATO, Russia start bomb the shit out of them immediately. Because Russia will not allow them to play with the life of its nation. Russia will prefer to destroy America before America get the chance to destroy Russia, which America wants to do from the end of World War II. But America, you're going to get what you want. The island gas where you go after in Venezuela, you are going to get what you want, America. But let's go back to the thief them, which is Andrew Holness, Darrell Vaz, Floyd Green, Juliet Holness, the gunman Harris Chang. Jamaica, if you all, given what has happened in our country in the last 9 years, if you think the Jamaica Labour Party is a good choice, then might as well you start run across whatever border you can run across right now. It's under Andrew Holness. Jamaicans start run left Jamaica on foot and by sea. We used to wait until we get a visa. And when we reach, when the plane drop, we decide so we are run off, we not turn back. Under Andrew Holness regime, people thought leave Jamaica on foot and by boat. Many Jamaicans have died trying to get to the American border because of the cost of living and the deprivation that Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party has brought upon our country. You have a duty to vote for your children when you go to the poll. You have a duty to vote to protect the young girls of Southwest St. Elizabeth that Floyd Green is using his power to abuse and using government resources such as laptop to abuse, to solicit for sex. Those are the things you must vote against. You must vote for Isaac Buchanan because now for the first time since Dr. Bloomfield dead, you'll get a candidate that you can go to with your problem, a candidate that will understand, a candidate that will be able to help you to buckle through your issue. A candidate who will protect your beaches, your rivers, and your rich white beach sand. We're from Darrell Vaz and Anne-Marie Vaz come there. Do you know the amount you have lost, people of Portland? You think are we one in a Jamaica lose? We cannot bring back the Jamaica Labour Party. Our country in the last 9 years, regardless of what they told us about how good the economy is, our country has gone backwards. We cannot eat as we used to eat. We cannot send our children to school as we used to do. We cannot purchase the things we used to, we could afford years ago. We cannot afford them anymore. Even though them say the economy good, Jamaican, there's a 55% food insecurity amongst us in Jamaica. Andrew and his friends have felt the prosperity. Parliamentarians whose salary gone up 300% has felt the prosperity. Andrew Holness could have delivered prosperity if he really cared about the people of Jamaica. But if you choose Mark Golding and the People's National Party, that 3.5 will help to deliver prosperity, more a bit of prosperity to some of you, more money in your pockets. You'll be able to do more than you can do now. You must choose progression, not regression. Under the Jamaica Labour Party, we have seen the regression. It's now, Jamaica, for us to choose progress.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation. Because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of not they only sit aside a rub and cheat and not press the floor. Make up what I seen to make him a throw and stone and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan! Make him a throw and stone and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite man, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red, how they want to see the day them can sell out Rasta and sell it out and sell out Babylon. They give man show and stone and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. They give man show and stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead and can sell out Rasta and sell out and sell out Babylon. Just stop on the Friday. You might go and stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing, man, throw and stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big him and throw one stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what's a black big him and throw one stone and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men.
Thank you very much and welcome back. Now, going into this election, on the Jamaica Labour Party side of things, there are many people, including the Prime Minister, who is on the ballot that should never be. Philly Willie Morning. Many people, many candidates on the ballot that should never be, including the Prime Minister, who is under a cloud of investigation for financial crimes. There are about 9 other MPs also from the Jamaica Labour Party under the illicit probe for financial crimes. Dalrymple, who had just pled guilty the other day for swindling the public purse, defrauding the public purse. Should not be on the ballot either. But this is the spiral of lack of integrity amongst Jamaica Labour Party supporters, government, MPs, candidates, whatever you want to call them. Nothing of integrity at all. When we are moving into a general election with so much candidates, Colleen James, so much candidates under in the investigation for financial crimes, we are being forced by the Jamaica Labour Party to elect thieves. We don't know if it's Floyd Green, Juliet Holness. We already know Andrew, Don, Chuck, Vaz, Montague, Warmington. There's so much of them who are under the probe. And you're being forced by the Jamaica Labour Party to elect thieves. This is not democracy. If it was democracy, we couldn't have been forced to vote for thieves, Prime Minister Andrew Holness. I don't think Andrew Holness understands that the world is watching. It's not just JBC and RGR that doesn't exist, or it's not about the prostitute organization or association of Jamaica. It's broader now. I mean, phone become media. We no longer have to have a lot to put information out there. You just need a phone. And you can be your own journalist out there. You can tell your own side of the story out there. Just like how Andrew Holness, every time he go in front of the mic, he tell with him side a story, which depends on which side he roll out of the bed. He may grow up with his mother, his grandmother, or in great-grandmother, or it may be in a one-bedroom, or it may be in a two-bedroom. It depends on when and who him tell. This is what we have been forced to do, Jamaica, to vote for thieves, to vote for people who are under investigation for financial crimes. Your Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, is under investigation for financial crimes. And he's asking the nation to give him 5 more years. Given that the Prime Minister, his wife, and sons have multi-million-dollar apartments across the country. He said Juliet even have apartments in Cayman, where them can't tell the Integrity Commission where they get the money from. The Prime Minister can't tell we. The Prime Minister and Leachin, we need to come explain to you about the money laundering that Leachin is assisting Andrew Holness with. The Prime Minister to tell you about the $250 million where people just walk up a cash point and put in an account, a cash machine, and put in an account, and Andrew Holness can't talk where the money come from and what it is for. Andrew Holness have 3 companies without staff. Andrew Holness is making millions but filing nil for taxes. That's the man who is asking for another 5 years, Jamaica. I hope you are prepared to go to hell in a handcart, you know. I hope if you think Andrew Holness is a choice, then I hope you are prepared to go to hell in a handcart. It won't be a chariot ride. The chariot no go down. That's what you've been asked to return. A party of thieves. A prime minister who has stolen the nation's wealth. A prime minister who has stolen the nation's prosperity is what you've been asked to return to leadership in our country. A prime minister that tells you, the people of Jamaica, I am not signing the code of conduct because I cannot make an agreement to you on integrity, openness, transparency, fairness, accountability, and all that of the Nolan principle. I cannot afford to tie myself to that, said the Prime Minister. So we just dive and duck and go through and thief when we can thief until it all fall apart. That's the person who is asking you to return him to government. A prime minister who's been investigated for stealing public resources. That prime minister is asking you to return him to government. A prime minister that has a shoot to kill policy on your children. A prime minister's, the only crime policy we've ever seen Andrew Holness implemented is taking away your constitutional right and creep up your children them off a road and have them in a jail cell for over a year without charging them or anything, bringing them to court or anything. And if that wasn't enough, his other way of bringing down the crime rate is having a shoot to kill policy on your children. So if we now go vote for Andrew labor rights, make sure we don't have money for burying our children. Independent Jamaicans, if we now go vote for Andrew Holness, make sure we don't have money for burying our children. And make sure we don't prepare for dead for once in the health care. I'll know nobody not pick up Dr. Roger Hunter's story. I'll know nobody not hear say Dr. Hunter said Christopher and Andrew Holness have killed 15,000 of us on a yearly basis. Calculate that by 9, and you see how Dr. Tufton has enriched himself by just creeping up on a body, put in funeral parlor, and get the autopsy money, and get other money put top of it. That's the government that is asking you to return them. That is the government that is asking you to return them, Jamaica. So if you don't want to progress, if you want to continue to go backwards, if you want the resources of your country to be squandered, only if you bring Andrew Holness back that would happen. The policy that Mark Golden have for your children going to university for the first time. You don't want to deprive your child of that because you're a diehard labor, right? Knowing that your child might pass to go university, but you cannot afford the fee. But this brilliant policy from Mark Golden and his team will allow your child to go to university and take the financial burden of university fee off your back. Those are the things you must vote for. You must vote for your children, giving a better education. You must vote for a better health care. We have seen a reverse under this government. You must vote for the road and water that were promised to you that the Prime Minister has declared as a national crisis just months ago. Something that they've been promising us from 2015. 2025 or 2024 and declare it national disaster. The Prime Minister has pledged $45.5 billion. We look at how we road them. I fly green that St. Elizabeth, a piss on the road them with gas oil and roll it with roller. And I tell the people them say, I want to fly green friend from down a Silka mine, get the contract, the piss pan we road them and roll them. That's all that is happening. Just wait till the rain fall. Wait till the rain fall, Jamaica, and you will see if this government have given you a road. Just make the rain fall, because if a drunken man piss too hard, pothole come out. Vote for a better Jamaica. Vote for a change. Vote for your children's future. If Andrew Holness was doing anything to improve our lives, he has 9 years to do it, and we have not seen it. You can't able to buy food anymore in your country. See John Cronick. John Cronick, they say a turkey. But if you go look, turkey and John Cro, it's the same family. One live in a tree and one live pandot. Same difference. Same difference. $570 for John Cronick. In our country. You can't eat a proper night dinner anymore. You have to knot and tie. You can't cook 2 meat per Sunday anymore. The whole of them luxury that you had, them cut out. When you go in a shop, it's the most confusing thing. Because you have to walk with scissors to cut up the little money to afford what you really want or what you can get out of it if you learn to cut up the money good. And prosperity was promised to us. Prosperity was promised to us. But within that prosperity, we're unable to buy food. We're unable to buy food, you know. But yet still, this Prime Minister keeps telling us, Ransford McLean, how you do, that we are on the road to prosperity. How far have we got? I'm sure the Prime Minister can tell us, how close to prosperity are we? Since I just said we're on the road to prosperity. Annie, how are you doing? Lovern. Since as we're on the road to prosperity, how close have we got? Because I know the communities, the rural communities of Jamaica, not anywhere close to prosperity. The teachers and nurses and junior doctors, firemen, them people that I'm sure the debacle between you and them overpay. They have not seen it either. I'm sure those of you in the 300% pay rise rank can certainly clap on a hand and say prosperity have come our way. The rebellion that you did not have against Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party from 2020 onwards, my people, you must create that rebellion at the poll. Let us go to the polls on the 3rd of September in a rebellious mood. Let us go back to the poll to take our country back. Let us go to the poll to vote for our children's future. When we go to the poll, let us vote for a progressive Jamaica. Because short of that, you will be voting for the destructive Labour Party, who their history has shown us the destruction, from Bustamante and Coral Gardens, to Eddie Siaga and Evelyn Tide, to Bruce Golden and Tivoli Gardens, and Andrew Holness and the whole mother clot of us. That's the history of the Jamaica Labour Party. A death squad always unleash death and disaster amongst us while they take their time to steal the nation's wealth. Thank you very much for being here with us this morning. Isilda Williams on Global TV. Lovely to have your support. Now, you know this evening is the final election debate where Andrew Holness will go up against the Titan Mark Golden, the next Prime Minister of Jamaica against the outgoing Prime Minister with a shroud of corruption, lack of credibility, and integrity around him. What an evening it would be. Remember, tonight we're going to come on a bit later. We're going to come on 2 o'clock my time in the morning, which will be 8 p.m. your time in the evening. The link is already set already. So you can go in at the Global TV link and start to have on a conversation, because our link is out there for tonight's debate. We will be coming on 8 o'clock Eastern time, 2 a.m. UK time. Thank you very much for being here this morning. Lovely to have your support. Join us back tonight for the final debate in the 2025 general election debate series, where the People's National Party has already secured 2 rounds for themselves. And obviously, this round tonight will no doubt goes to the leader of integrity, Mark Jefferson Golden. Thank you. Good morning and good afternoon from Global TV.
Oh, thy peace, God of my salvation, because the mouth of the sinful and wicked is open. Rastafari. Come with I. Rastaman throw one stone, and it break a bad feeling to all wicked men. Not a people there. Make a man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Only when man like Marcus Garvey speak, wicked men would I hear. Hear not hear. Instead of that, they only sit aside and rub and cheat, and not press the poor. Make up what I seen to. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a plan. Make a man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. My favorite part, if Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the them can sell out Rasta and sell it out. I sell out Babylon. Big man throw one stone, and they bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. If Rasta make a progressive move, wicked men are red. How they want to see the dead can sell out Rasta and sell out. I sell out Babylon. If I throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a black thing. If I throw a stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. You have eyes to see, let him see. You have ears to hear, let them hear. What a prophet must say. President Mandela was in prison for 20 odd years. And he leave from the prison and take the seat of the president. Stone one. Big man throw one stone, and it bring a bad feeling to all wicked men. Oh, what a
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.